Hello, in this lecture we will find the area of this blue triangle. Actually, we can say in the drawing a rectangle that contains three right triangles and also the blue triangle, and the areas of the right triangles are given to us. Okay, the area of this right triangle is 15 units, the area of this right triangle is 12 units, and the area of this right triangle is 27 units. And we want to find the area of the blue triangle. So if we subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, we will get the area of the blue triangle. So the only thing that is missing in order to find the area of the blue triangle is the area of the rectangle. So after we will find the area of the rectangle, we will deduct from the area of that rectangle the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, and we will get the area of the blue triangle. So the area of a rectangle equals to the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. So let's define the width of this rectangle as A, and the length of this rectangle will be defined as B. So the area of this rectangle will be A times B, the width of the rectangle times the length of the rectangle. Okay, so we can write it down. We will call the area A. The area of the rectangle will be called A, equals to A times B. Okay, the width of the rectangle times the length of the rectangle equals to the area of the rectangle. Okay, so the area of this rectangle equals to A times B. So the only thing that is missing is actually the area of the rectangle, that is A times B. So in order to find the value of A times B, first of all we will define the base of this triangle, of this right triangle, as Y. the base of the triangle that is area is 15 units will be defined as y. And you can see from the drawing that the base of the triangle that is area is 12 units will be the width of the length of this rectangle that is B minus the base of this triangle that is y. So B minus y is the base of the triangle that is area is 12 units. Okay. In the same way, we can define the height of this triangle as x. The height of the triangle that is area is 27 units will be defined as x, and the height of this triangle will be A, that is the width of the rectangle, minus the height of the triangle that is area is 27 units. So A minus x is the height of the triangle that is area is 12 units. Okay, so in the next step we will create the formulas for the areas of those three right triangles. The general formula for a triangle is actually the base of the triangle times the height to this base divided by 2 equals to the area of a triangle. Again, the base of the triangle times the height to this base divided by 2 equals to the area of a triangle. Actually, we will use this general formula of the area of a triangle in order to create the areas, the formulas for the areas of those three triangles. Although the areas is given, we will create the formulas for these areas. Okay, so we will start with this right triangle. Actually, the formula for the area of the triangle that is area is 15 units will be the base of the triangle that is y times the height of the triangle that is A divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle. But we have already known that the area is 15 units, so we will write that A equals to 15 units. Okay, so actually the area of this triangle equals to the base of the triangle that is y times the height of this triangle that is A divided by 2, and this area is given to us, it equals to 15 units. Okay, so we created the formula for the area of this triangle. The area of this triangle is the base of this triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2 equals to 15 units. So y times a divided by 2 equals to 15 units. So this is the first formula for the area of this right triangle. In the same way, we will create the formula for the area of this triangle. So the formula for the triangle that is area is 27 units will be the base of the triangle that is B. B also is the length of the rectangle. So it is the base that is B times the height of the triangle that is X divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle. But we have already know that the area is 27 units. So we will add that A equals to 27 units. We will rewrite this equation. B times X divided by 2 equals to 27. Okay, the base of this triangle, it is B times the height of this triangle, that is X divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle, that is 27 units. So now actually we will create the formula for the area of this triangle, that is the third right triangle that we have in the drawing. Will be the same formula, that is to say the base of this triangle, that is we already find it, that is B minus y. We already found the base of this triangle, that is B minus y. Actually it is the length of the rectangle, that is B, minus the base of this triangle, that is y. So it is B minus y is the base of this triangle, that is area is 12 units, times the height of this triangle. The height is actually the width of the triangle, that is A, minus the height of this triangle, that is X. So it is A minus X. A minus X is the height of the triangle, that is area is 12 units. So the base, that is B minus y, times the height of this triangle, that is A minus X, divided by 2 equals to the area of this triangle. But we know the area of this triangle is given to us, it is 12 units. So we will add to the formula that A equals to 12 units. Okay, so the area of this triangle is the base of the triangle, that is B minus y, times the height of this triangle, that is A minus X, divided by 2, and it is equals to 12 units because the area is given to us. And we will rewrite this equation. B minus y times A minus X divided by 2 equals to 12 units. Okay. Again, the area of this triangle is the base of the triangle, that is b minus y, times the height of this triangle, that is a minus x, divided by 2, and it is equals to 12 units. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2, and we will get that b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. Okay, here we multiply both sides of the equation by 2, so here we have b minus y times a minus x, and 12 times 2 is 24. Okay, in the next step, we will take out x and y. We will take out we'll take x and y out of their equations. So in the first step, we will take y out of the first equation. So the first equation is y times a divided by 2 equals to 15 units. This equation, we will multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that y times a equals to 30. We multiply both sides of the equation by 2, so here we have y times a divided by 2 multiplied by 2 is y times a, and 15 times 2 is 30. Now we can divide both sides of the equation by a, because a is actually the width of the rectangle, and the width of a rectangle is always positive. It can never be 0, so we can divide both sides of the equation by a. We will get that y equals to 30 over a. Okay, we divided both sides of the equation by a. We got that y equals to 30 over a. We will do the same thing about x. We will take x out of the second equation. The second equation is actually b times x divided by 2 equals to 27. As you can see here, the second equation, b times x equals to 27. We can multiply both sides of the equation by 2. We will get that b times x equals to 54. So after we multiplied both sides of the equation by 2, we got here b times x equals to 27 times 2 is 54. We can divide both sides of the equation by b, because b is actually the length of the rectangle, and the length of a rectangle is always positive. It can never be 0, so we can divide both sides of the equation by b. Okay, So after we divided both sides of the equation by b, we got that x equals to 54 over b. And we have already know that y equals to 30 over a. Okay? So we took out x, we took x out of the equation. We got that x equals to 54 over b, and actually we also took out y from the first equation. We got that y equals to 30 over a. In the next step, we will substitute x by 54 over b and y by 30 over a in the third equation. In the third equation is actually, as you can see here, b minus y times a minus x equals to 24. So we substitute y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b. Okay. The third equation, so as I have already told you, we substituted y by 30 over b and x by 50, we substituted y by 30 over a and x by 54 over b. Okay, so, and all equals here to 24. Okay, this equals to 24, so I put 24 in the other side of the equation. The next step is to open the brackets in this side of the equation. So here b times a is ba, or a b is the same. And b times negative 54 over b is negative 54. Negative 30 over a times a is negative 30, and negative 30 over a times negative 54 over b equals to positive 1620 divided by AB, all equals to 24. Okay. Okay, so we have here AB minus 54 minus 30 plus 1620 divided by AB equals to 24, so we can substitute 24 from both sides of the equation. So after we substituted 24 from both sides of the equation, we got that AB minus 54 minus 30 minus 24, because we substituted 24 from both sides of the equation, plus 1620 over AB equals to 0, because 24 minus 24 equals to 0. In the next step, minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to negative 108, so we'll write it down. Okay, AB minus 54 minus 30 minus 24 equals to negative 108, and here we have plus 1620 over AB equals to 0. Okay, now the third equation, this equation, we will multiply both sides of the equation by AB. We can multiply by AB because A is a positive number and B is positive number, so it can never be 0. So it is allowable to multiply both sides of the equation by AB. Okay. A B times AB is AB squared. Okay. AB times AB is AB squared. Negative 108 times AB is negative 108 AB. And 1620 divided by AB times AB is plus 1620. All 0 times AB equals to 0. Okay, so actually we have here a quadratical equation that is variable is AB. A quadratic equation, or actually on this specific quadratic equation, the variable is AB, and the general form of a quadratic equation is actually A times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. So this is the general form of a quadratic equation: a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0, where a, b, and c are the coefficients of the quadratic equation. Okay, and x is the variable of the quadratic equation. Okay, so I will write it down. A, B, and C are the coefficients of the quadratic equation, and x is the variable that we are seeking for. Okay, again, a times x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. A, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic equation. A, b, and c are the coefficients of a quadratic equation, and x is the variable that we trying to find. And actually, in order to find the value of x, we have a special equation for x. Actually, the value or the values of x are called the roots of the quadratic equation, and as I already said, x might have more than one solution. So it is the root of a quadratic equation, the solution for x, or the roots. Okay, so I will show you I will write down the special equation for x. Okay, the special equation for x is actually x equals to minus b plus minus the root of b squared minus 4 times a times c divided by 2 times a. Okay, So the special equation for x is x equals to minus b. Minus b is the coefficient of the quadratic equation. Minus b plus minus b squared minus 4 times a times c, and a and c and also are the coefficients of this quadratic equation, and all divided by 2 times a. So we will first of all I will write down our specific quadratic equation. As I already told you, we will use this equation in order to find the value or the values of x that are also called the root or the roots of this quadratic equation. Okay? So, as we use this equation, we will find the value of x. Okay? So, now I will write our specific quadratic equation. It is ab squared minus 108 times ab plus 1620 equals to 0. Okay, this is our quadratic equation that we got from our three equations for the right triangles. We created three formulas for the areas of these right triangles, and in this way we got to this quadratic equation. And actually AB is the area of this rectangle, and as I already told you, after we will find this AB, that is actually our variable that we will find according to our special equation for x, we will subtract from the area of the rectangle that is actually a times b, the sum of the areas of those three right triangles, and we will get the area of the blue triangle. So this is our quadratic equation. I will write below the general form of a quadratic equation. A times x squared is x squared plus b times x plus c equals to 0. Here we can multiply this expression by 1, because you can multiply any number by 1, any expression you can multiply by 1, and you don't change anything, because every number or expression that is multiplied by 1 will be the same. Okay, so we can multiply this expression ab squared by 1, And as you can see here, A is equals to 1, and AB is actually X, and B is actually negative 108, AB is X, and C equals to 1620. Okay? So I will write it down. A equals to 1, B equals to negative 108, C equals to positive 1620, and X equals to A times B. Okay, A equals to 1, B equals to negative 108, and C equals to 1620, and X equals to A times B. So actually we will find the value of the variable that is A times B, and that is actually the area of the rectangle, and then we will subtract from the area of the rectangle the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, and in this way we will get the area of the blue triangle. Okay, so first of all I will write again the general formula for X, and X is in our specific quadratic equation. X equals to A times B, that is the area of the rectangle. So I will write again the general formula for X. X equals to minus B plus minus the root of B squared minus 4 times A C, all divided by 2 times A. Okay, this is the general equation for X. X equals to minus B plus minus root of B squared minus 4 times A times C, all divided by 2 times A. So as you can see here, we have B plus the root of minus 4 times AC divided by 2A. So when we add B to the root of this expression, we will get one solution for x, and another solution for x will be when we do the b minus the root of this expression divided by 2a. That will give us another solution for x. So in this particular case we will have two solutions of this quadratic equation. Will have two roots, two different roots. Okay, so we will we have already found that x equals to a times b. So a times b equals to minus b equals to minus 108. So minus b is minus 108, that is plus 108, because minus times minus equals to plus. Okay, it is minus 108 plus minus the root of b is negative 108, so it will be negative 100, b squared will be negative 108 square minus 4 times a equals to 1 and c equals to 1620, all divided by 2 times a. 2 times a, and a is equal to 1, so it is 2 times 1, a equals to 1. Okay, so as you can see here, x equals to a times b, so we wrote that x equals to a times b, and x equals to minus b, x equals to minus b, b equals to minus 108, so minus b is minus 108, that is plus 108, and then plus minus of root of b square, b equals to negative 108, so b square will be negative 108 square minus 4 times a times c, so it is 4 times a equals to 1, it is 4 times 1, times c equals to 1620, so it is 4 times 1 times 1620, all divided by 2 times a, and a equals to 1, so it is 2 times 1. Okay, so now we will do the calculations. So a times b equals to plus 108 plus minus the root of minus 108 square is 11,664 minus, okay, here minus 108 is 11,664 minus 4 times 1 times 620 equals to minus 6,420, all divided by 2 times 1 is 2. Okay, so as I already told you, negative 100 square is 11,664, minus 4 times 1 times 1620 equals to 6,480, all divided by 2. So we'll subtract 11,664 from 6,420, and we will get that 8 times B equals to plus 108 plus minus, so 11,664 minus 6,480 is 5,184, all divided by 2. $11,664 minus 6,480 equals to 5,184, and the root of 5,184 is 72. So we will write it down. So, as I told you, the root of 5,184 is 72, so we have 108 plus 72 equals to 180. So 108 plus 72 equals to 180, and 180 divided by 2 equals to 90. So the first solution for A times B is 90, or this is the first root of our quadratic equation. It is 90 units, that is to say the area of this rectangle is 90 units. We must consider also the second solution for the quadratic equation, that is, as I already told you, it is A times B equals to 108 minus 72 divided by 2 is equals to 36, divided by 2 is 18, so 8 times B equals to 18. So the second solution for A times B, that is the root of our quadratic equation, is because minus B plus minus. So the first solution is AB plus the root, and the second solution is minus B. The first solution is minus B plus the root, and the second solution is minus B minus the root of the expression, minus the root and the expression inside the root. So the second solution is minus B minus what we have in the root, and what we have in the root is 72. So 108 minus 72 equals to 36, and 36 divided by 2 is 18. So we have the answer that the area of this rectangle is 18 units. But this answer is incorrect, because even the rectangle contains 3 right triangles, and even the area of this right triangle alone is 27 units, that is bigger than 18. And the rectangle contains this right triangle and this right triangle and this right triangle. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than the sum of the areas of these 3 right triangles that are 54. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units. That is the sum of the areas of these 3 triangles. 27 plus 12 plus 15 equals to 54 units. So the area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units. So the answer of 18 units is incorrect. It is impossible that the rectangle is 20, the area of the rectangle is 20 units. The area of the rectangle must be greater than 54 units. So the answer A and B equals to 18 is incorrect. So we left with the only answer that is left, that A times B equals to 90 units. So we found out that the area of the triangle is 90 units, and as I already told you, the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of those 3 right triangles equals to the area of the blue triangle. So the area of the rectangle that is 90 units minus the sum of the areas of these 3 right triangles that equals to 54 units equals to 36 units, and 36 units is the area of the blue triangle. Okay, again, the area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of those 3 right triangles equals to the area of the blue triangle. So it is 19 units, the area of the rectangle minus the areas of the 3 right triangles, that equals to 54. This equals to the area of the blue triangle, that is 36 units. Okay, so the area of the blue triangle equals to 36 units. So we'll summarize the lecture. Actually, we wanted to find the area of the blue triangle, and as I already told you, the area of the blue triangle is the area of the rectangle. The area of the rectangle minus the sum of the areas of those 3 right triangles, but the areas of those 3 right triangles are given to us, so the only thing that is left is to find out the area of the rectangle, that is the length of the rectangle times the width of the rectangle. So the area of the rectangle is A times B. So the only thing that we need to do is to find the value of A times B. In order to do that, we actually created 3 equations for the 3 right triangles. The area of a triangle is the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle divided by 2. And we implemented this equation in order to find the formula for the areas of those 3 triangles. We found out that the area of this triangle is a times y divided by 2 equals to 15. The area of this triangle is b times x divided by 2 equals to 27, and the area of this right triangle equals to b minus y times a minus x divided by 2 equals to 12 units. And then, so we have three equations, and we take out x and y from their equations and put the value of x and substitute the value of x and y in the third equation. And after we did it, we actually created a quadratic equation that the variable in that quadratic equation was a times b, and a times b is the area of the rectangle that we are looking for. And by solving this quadratic equation, we found out two answers for the area of the rectangle. The first answer was 90 units, and the second solution for a times b was 18 units, but 18 units is incorrect answer because the area of this rectangle must be greater than 54 units. That is the sum of the areas of the three right triangles that it contains. Okay, so the only solution that's left is for the area of the rectangle is 90 units, and we subtracted from the area of the rectangle that is 90 units the sum of the areas of the three right triangles, that is 54 units. So 90 minus 54 units is 36 units, and 36 units is the area of the blue triangle. Okay, thank you very much.